Okay, we are live. Sebastian, question number 1. You have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin speaking now.
I definitely prefer spending my holidays in the beach. The first reason is because it brings so much memories to me. It reminds me about my family when we used to go on vacations to the beach and see other families enjoying while playing on the sand, while they were swimming. And that takes me to my second reason why I like spending my holidays in the beach, which is the environment. I really love see everything around me, being able to play with other people or have conversations with other people in there. And I like it because environment motivate you to enjoy that moment. That's the two reasons why I like to spend my
Time.
holidays in the beach.
Okay, good. How do you feel about your answer? What parts do you like? What part do you want to improve on? What sticks out to you, good or bad?
Well, I think I was able to give two reasons. I have the time to give two reasons, but I think I was a little weak in my second reason.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I did hear you give two reasons. So you have two good points to talk about. And then you said you were a little weak on your second reason. I did feel a little bit of a drop off on your pace. What I mean is how many words and sentences you were using to further describe what you said, which is environment and other people. But overall, this wasn't a bad answer. There's a few things that we can do to sharpen it up, to clean it up, and to make it stronger. Okay, so I heard your preference is the beach. I didn't hear you say anything about the mountains. So like, for example, one quick and easy way that you can start doing this en route to your 26 on TOEFL speaking is to say something like, my preference, I prefer the beach more than I prefer the mountains.
Yeah.
So the first sentence is a good place, a good, easy place to put that. And then I also suggest saying that somewhere else within your 45 seconds. So let's see, where could Sebastian have done that? Number 2, you give a personal example about your family going to the beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you could say, continuing with that, a personal experience, my family would go to the beach and that's where we would have great times. I don't have a lot of memories of good holidays at the mountains with my family, but the beach, I do. Something like that, tie in a counter argument that shows it's like you're showing the negative of the option you did not choose. You're showing the negative of the option you did not choose. So my family didn't have a lot of good holidays at the beach or at the mountains, excuse me, or while I like the mountains, my family had better holidays at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So highlighting a negative of the personal choice you did not choose. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can do this here. First, do you have any comments or questions about what I just said, Sebastian? Question number 1.
Well, I remember you mentioned that before, and I just forgot it because
Okay.
those counterpoint. It really
Counter
support
arguments.
counter argument. It really support your reasons.
Good. Yes, I like what you said. They really support your reasons. They are strong supporting sentences. And when you said on your second reason, I forget exactly what you said, but you said something like, I didn't explain it as much as I did my first reason.
Mm-hmm.
A counter argument gives us more information. It gives us more options to work with. So I'm going to do something new with you here. I'm going to look at the notes that I took on your answer, and you and I will have a back and forth. I'm going to give my version of the answer that you just gave. So looking at number 1, beach, number 2, personal example, number 3, I'm going to use as much of your ideas and words that I can and say it the way that I would say it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to say it just like me, but I'm going to give you an example of how I would use the notes I took on your answer to answer this. And then immediately after I do that, I'm going to ask you, hey, Sebastian, is there anything that from the answer you just heard from me that helps you give a better answer? And then you can give your second answer on this same question.
Okay.
Okay, so when I give this answer here, look for at least one thing that you like, one thing that you can add to your answer, and then you'll give a second answer. Okay, question number 1. On holiday, do you prefer to go to the beach or to the mountains? Okay. On holiday, I prefer to go to the beach more than I prefer to go to the mountains. The first reason I feel this way is because I remember going on holidays with my family, and we would often go to the beach. We had so much fun. Everybody was happy. I don't remember going to the mountains a lot because we didn't have a lot of good holidays there. It was at the beach where my family enjoyed our days off of work. Furthermore, the beach is a better environment. There's other people, we can play beach volleyball or go swimming in the sea. This is why I prefer the beach more than I prefer the mountains on holidays.
The counter argument where makes it very solid.
Okay, and good. So you like that part. Tell me more. What do you specifically remember, or how do you want to use the counter argument?
I think it was important because even though the mountain is beautiful and it brings in a lot of people want to spend time in there, it really supported the fact that you like more the beach.
Good.
For the reasons that you gave.
Nice. I like how you described that. Okay, so let's give you 15 seconds to get ready for your second answer. Okay, Sebastian, you have 15 seconds to prepare. You may begin preparing now. Time.
I definitely prefer spending
just a second. You have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin speaking now.
I definitely prefer spending my holidays at the beach more than the mountain, because the first reason is because it brings memories about my family. The mountain is beautiful. A lot of people want to go there. It makes it a desirable place. But I remember any good time with my family at the mountain. I really remember a good time with my family in the beach while playing with my brothers and spending time around the beach too. The second reason is because the environment, it really motivated me to be there, see a crowded place, and you can maybe see that in the mountain, but you don't see it frequently in the beach.
Okay, much better. Okay. And how do you feel about that one, your second answer?
Yeah, I feel better. I think I could have even I could have just stayed with the first reason and give more support.
Yes, yes. Nowhere does it say we have to give 2 reasons. If you have one reason, but multiple strong examples, that's perfectly okay as you get your 26 on TOEFL speaking. Yeah. So I noticed there on your second answer, when you were focused on giving a counter argument, I could hear you had more things to get to, you had more things to say, so everything was improved. I liked the force you were speaking with. It's like you couldn't wait to say this good point, so you were speaking, your speaking rate was better, you were including more details, and also it was a more assertive delivery. You couldn't wait to get to that good thing that you wanted to say, so that was good. Let's remember that for your answers to questions number 1. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Sebastian, what do you want to remember? What do you want to remember so that you continue answering question number 1 well? How would you describe it in your words?
I think I know in the first question, I have to first give my opinion in what I prefer, and also give my reason. And what I need to remember, just give an counter argument, because actually while I was talking about the mountain, it brings a lot of topics to my head that I could have even like keep going with more to supporting my reasons.
Good. So I heard you say, the order is to first, boom, give your opinion, and then to use a counter argument because it gives you more ideas to describe in detail.
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready, Sebastian? I have one last thing for you before I ask Polina if she's ready.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Sebastian? Okay. No time to prepare. I'd like for you to answer me immediately as a speaking exercise. Okay. Some people prefer to have cats as a pet. Other people prefer to have dogs as a pet. Which do you prefer and why?
I definitely prefer dogs more than cats. And the first reason is because dogs are more friendly. Cats are nice pets. A lot of people want have cats in their houses because they are clean. But having dogs is different because you can do more stuff with them. You can go out with them, go around the city with them, and you really feel like a connection with your pet when you have a dog. That's the reason why I think having a dog is much better.
Excellent. With no 15 seconds to prepare, that was very good. You did what you said you wanted to do, to start by stating your opinion, dogs, and then you counter-argued, even though people prefer cats, they're clean, I can take my dog around with me in the city more. Nice.
I hope they ask me that in the TOEFL test.
Yes, me too. Very good. Okay, great. All right. Thanks, Sebastian. All right. So, Polina, are you ready for 15 seconds to prepare?
Yes.
Okay. 15 seconds. You may begin preparing now. Time. You now have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin speaking now.
If I had a choice, I'll definitely prefer to go to the beach on my vacation because I just love swimming. When I was studying at school, I used to go to swimming classes for years. I used to be in a swimming team and my practice was hours long and I really enjoyed it. So when I go to the beach, it reminds me about that time. What's more, I have a very stressful job. As a pharmacist, all my days I spend dealing with people and their issues. Walking on the beach is something that helps me to feel relaxed and forget about my daily issues. That's why I definitely prefer my vacation on the beach.
Time. Nice. Very strong. Why was that very strong?
Because it was...
Why is that answer ready to get at least 26 on TOEFL Speaking?
Because it was complex. I stated my reasons. I explained why. Oh, there was that I went to the example, but then I came back to the reason.
Good.
And also, I think I was trying hard to increase my
speaking rate.
And
you did.
I think I'm doing a little better than I used to do before with that.
Yes, you are. You are doing a lot better on that. I'm consistently hearing your speaking rate. So to make sure everybody knows what that means, we're saying more words, more valid sentences. It's not just more words, but more accurate and supporting words and sentences within the time limit. So here within 45 seconds. Good. And what's also connected to that is delivery. So since you, sort of like I told Sebastian earlier, since you have good points that you want to get to, your speaking rate, you're speaking faster, but then also your delivery is more assertive. It's like you're more confident, and you're more confident in talking about, I love swimming, I have good memories, I need to get to this point, I'm going to get to that point. This is why this is better. So everything is improving.
So while you were talking to Sebastian, I had time to prepare and I was like, no, don't prepare. Start preparing when you're given 15 seconds.
To challenge yourself, to further challenge yourself. Good. Nice. To further challenge yourself. I like that. I like that. To everybody listening and benefiting from this, notice what Paulina just said. She chose to further challenge herself. She only gave herself 15 seconds. She didn't take advantage of going second. She didn't give herself more time. She chose to further challenge herself with only 15 seconds. She's not looking for a shortcut. Instead, she's raising her speaking fluency. She chose to challenge herself. Good. This is why I know you're going to pass TOEFL very soon. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to think of something, even if it's small, to help you improve, but you've already been making the improvements we've been talking about. I like that you noticed your speaking rate was better, and I was able to connect that with how that also improves delivery. And you also noticed that you went to the example and then came back to the reason. Good. You didn't go off and astray and get lost. You came back to it. So I liked everything about your answer. Very good. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a quick speaking exercise. So just like Sebastian, no time to prepare. I'm going to ask that you answer me as quickly as you can. Okay. All right. So Paulina, some people prefer to drink caffeinated drinks like tea or coffee, and other people prefer to just drink healthy water. Which do you prefer and why?
I personally prefer to drink caffeinated drinks because I have a very low blood pressure, and living without any caffeinated drinks makes my life harder. That's why it's something that I feel sometimes is medically necessary for me to have some caffeinated drink.
Nice. Medically necessary. So strong. Very good.
Well, that's the excuse I've always been telling myself.
That's the rationalization. Well, it worked. It was very strong, very persuasive. Good, good. All right. Okay, let's see here. Okay, do you guys have any questions or comments about this question number 1 or anything in general? Okay.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to give my answer to this. If somebody can give me, let's see, just give me 5 seconds to prepare. And then, so the reason why I do this is I want you guys to hear. Your answers do not have to sound like mine. I like the answers that you gave me today, but I do this in hopes of, hey, maybe there's one thing that you liked from my answer. It can be absolutely anything. So at the end of this, I'm going to ask, was there one thing that you liked from my answer that you want to remember that will help you improve your answers to question number 1?
Okay.
All right.
Paulina liked this part.
Oh yeah, Paulina likes this part.
Yeah.
She likes putting me under the time pressure.
Okay, so you have now 5 seconds to prepare. Begin preparing now.
Okay.
5 seconds, I'm very quick.
I prefer the mountains more than the beach. A holiday is the opposite of a work day.
I give you 5 seconds as you asked.
Yes, yes. Okay, so now we're ready for 45 seconds.
Yes. So you have now 45 seconds to speak. Begin speaking after the beep. Beep.
On holidays, I prefer to go to the mountains more than I prefer to go to the beach. This is because a holiday is the opposite of a work day. It's a non-working day. And during my work days, I'm in a big city with a lot of traffic, a lot of people, a lot of noise. So I want my holiday to be the opposite of that. While the beaches are nice, they are often overcrowded and very noisy. This is why I prefer to go to the mountains, where it's more likely to be quiet, more likely to be less crowded, and I am more likely to have a peaceful, relaxing holiday.
7 seconds. 6, 5.
I'm happy. 7 seconds is a lot of time. Okay, so if I would have looked at a timer, I could have added up This is why okay, I think I did say that. This is why I prefer the mountains more than the beach. I'm happy with my answer, but yeah, 7 seconds is a lot of time. If I would have been looking at a timer, I would have adjusted that.
Mm.
Okay, so was there anything in my answer that could help you in your answers and your future answers to question number 1?
Mm.
Maybe not, and that's okay.
Well, I think it was very strong. Just one reason. Counter argument.
Is good. Is a good tool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's good, I think, when you can come up with ideas, when you have that time left and you can think of something else, you can say, whereas if I do something opposite and explain the same, like the same situation differently, show like explain about the negative effects, or just you know, like where I enjoy going to the beach, whereas if I go to the mountains, something, it's a good tool when you can come up with something else.
Yes. Oh yeah, it gives us more details to talk about. It highlights, compares, and contrasts the two choices. Good. So here, if you guys noticed in my answer, when I first saw this question number 1, the personal, it's hard because I like both the beach and the mountains. So the thing that helped me choose, the thing that helped me decide on preferring the mountains was by looking again at the word from the question, and it says holiday. Which do you prefer on a holiday? Now, if it asks me on my birthday party, well, that's good. That I would choose the beach. But on a holiday, I think, okay, a holiday, that's a non-working day. So in my answer, you heard me focusing on how I would describe a holiday. It's the opposite of a working day. And that's why I chose the mountains, more about the peace and quiet of the mountains compared to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're ever, my advice for this one is if you are ever stuck on the personal choice question or any of the questions, go back to the words from the question, look and see what you can focus on to make your answer easier, to make your answer better, filled with more details that are strong, supporting reasons. All right, okay, so that's it for me today. Do you guys have any other comments or questions about question number 1 or any of the speaking questions in general?
Do we have time to give our response proving the point we didn't support first?
Yes, good idea. Let's do it. Okay, so let's do that. So Paulina is going to give the opposite viewpoint, and Sebastian, if you want to do that, let's do that also. This is a great speaking exercise. Let's force ourselves to give the opposite point of view. Okay, Paulina, you have 15 seconds to prepare. You may begin preparing now. Time. You now have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin speaking now.
If I had a choice, I will definitely prefer to go to the mountains on my vacation, because I was born in January, and when I was born, there was a lot of snow in my country, and I feel like I naturally prefer snowy weather, and going to the mountain always helps me to enjoy the snow. What's more, I enjoy skiing and snowboarding, and that's something that I can always find at the mountains. What's more, mountains always have a clean, fresh air. I'm asthmatic, and that air always helps to feel better and feel healthier. That's why I think.
Good. I really like number 4 here. You continued. So what's more? Clean air. You kept going. Boom, boom, boom. Strong speaking rate. What's more? There's clean air in the mountains. Boom, boom. Speaking rate. Very good. You filled that full 45 seconds up better than I did. Nice.
it wasn't as good as the first answer, because the first answer, those are the best points I could find. That's the answer that I would primarily choose. But I was trying to challenge myself, and I wanted to use the same second point, something like mountains makes me feel relaxed and forget about my daily problems. Was like, no, I used that already. I can't use it again.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that was good. So the first one, it was more natural. So it's a stronger response. But this one, you were able to do it well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2, a personal reason. So you related it to yourself, gave a reason that's related to yourself, your birth date, preferring snowy weather, snowboarding. And then I really, number 4 stood out to me. You continued, what's more, clean air, something completely different while still maintaining a consistently fast speaking rate.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Very good. Okay. Anything else, Paulina, before I ask Sebastian if he's ready to do the same?
No, that's it. I'm good.
Okay, great. All right, Sebastian. So 15 seconds to prepare. You may begin preparing now. Time. You now have 45 seconds to speak. You may begin speaking now.
For my holidays time, I definitely prefer going to the mountain instead of the beach. The first reason is because it's beautiful. Going to the beach, a lot of people like to go to the beach and it seems crowded, but going to the mountain, it really makes me feel good because it's a quiet place. I'm able to think, I'm able to concentrate in things in my life, and I can't do that in the beach because it's too loud. And also being in the mountain, it really made me stay disconnected from my job or from other things that distract me from in my day-to-day life.
Okay, good, Sebastian. My favorite part is when you said, I can't do that at the beach. So you went back and forth between your choice. So the good thing about your choice, the bad thing about the choice you didn't pick, the good thing about your choice, and then again, the bad thing about your choice you didn't pick. So you went back and forth, back and forth. Good. My favorite sentence was, I can't do that at the beach. That's a strong counter argument explaining why you prefer the mountains. How do you feel about your answer? What did you like, or what do you want to remember to improve on?
I think I was able to use those counter arguments, but I think at some point I wasn't sure about what I was saying. But I think I feel good with my answer.
Yeah, for especially because considering that we're forcing ourselves to give the answer that we wouldn't give. This is a speaking exercise to brainstorm, to develop stronger counter arguments like you just did. So good. I like it.
That when it's uncomfortable, that's when when a change happens. Because, it's always people like trainers say that when you exercise, it has to be uncomfortable in order for the change to happen. It can be, you can feel comfortable. I feel like the same with speaking.
Yes.
We have to talk about uncomfortable things in order for the change to happen.
Good. Yes.
And then we're talking about the topic we are not previously supported, that's uncomfortable.
Yes. Forcing ourselves to give the answer that's not natural, not as natural as our first choice. Maybe the physical therapist can tell us about no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
All right.
Seems like that's very popular.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So a good idea, Polina. I'm glad you asked us to do that, to give the answer that's not as natural as our first choice. And Sebastian will remember this. Polina and I have been doing this and it's helped her. She likes it. This is also a little bit related to our mini debates where we take one side and then we expand on it further than 45 seconds or 60 seconds. So you and I will remember to do this also. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to look to finish here in another minute or so, but if you have any comments, anything you want to tell me, next class, we will work together on question number 2.
Mhm. No, that was great class. I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
For me, it has been 2 weeks working all together, and I really feel stronger when we practice like question 1 1 week, and the next one question 2, question 3, because I'm able to remember more things.
Okay, good.
What we practiced before.
Okay, so I'll remember to do that. We'll do question number 2 next time and then continue with 3 and then 4.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. All right, excellent. Thank you guys. And thank you everybody for watching.
Yeah.
I hope this video was helpful for your speaking answers. And if you want more information, you can check the description in the video.